Just in the moment, Pat. And here we go, spawning in the top right-hand corner of Solaris, we have our blue Zerg player representing Starlight Twinkle. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean and Protoss player. The Red Protoss, currently teamless, looking for a team, deserving to be on a team. It is NightMare. You can say Light's not frozen, he's just very stiff. Oh no. Quack. As we're getting into our PvZ here, and again, I'm excited. I do think that Wayne and NightMare can be quite comparable here. Again, NightMare, he thrives against Protoss, he thrives against Terran. We spoke about this last night when we were casting ESL Open Cup Asia, where NightMare, he was able to win the entire tournament. He was our ESL Open Cup Asia champion this week. The reason for that, or part of the reason for that, is that there was no Zerg player to stop him. NightMare, he thrives against Protoss, he thrives against Terran. His PvZ is his weakest matchup, so Wayne has a good chance here to upset or to take it here to NightMare. Likewise, I'm excited to see how NightMare has been improving his PvZ, because we are aware that it's the matchup he needs to be working on. I'm excited to see how he has been working on it, as we're going for a 2-gate opener. Interesting, very interesting here from NightMare. 2-gate opener is going to be going double adept into 4, maybe even 6 adepts. A very aggressive style from NightMare. He will be delaying his expansion as a result in favor of those 2 adepts. Again, we're just waiting for the Cybercore to finish up. Meanwhile, Wayne, he comes in with the Overlord. He will confirm both gateways are already done. He is now fully aware of the 2-gate opener, and Wayne should be preparing back at home with additional lings. There we go, 4 lings are already on the way. Queens in production as well. And there are those 2 adepts being chronoed as we speak. NightMare with a bit of a confident build. So this is very unorthodox. You don't really see 2-gate builds that often at this level unless you're feeling confident. Unless you're feeling confident against your opponent. If you're feeling like you can maybe out multitask, out micro your Zerg opponent in this scenario, then it's what we go for. A bit of a skill check here from NightMare. We'll see how much damage he can get done. Here we go, we have our first 2 adepts, and we have 2 more behind this. And meanwhile, Wayne is taking this very seriously. We have a wave of 8 lings on the way. So again, Wayne not taking any chances. Adepts, they do threaten a shade. We do actually commit here into the main. Ling speed still halfway done. And we do manage to try to get us around here. The Jukes! Oh! The Jukes were okay, but we got us around. 1 adept does fall already. Not the best start from NightMare. Ay, ay, ay. 1 adept does fall. 2 more on the way behind this. We have a 5th and 6th adept also on the way. So NightMare just committing to mass adept. Behind this, going for a robo opener. This is crazy. Wait, what? NightMare. He's going for a very wild opener. Committing to more adepts, does get into the main base with 3 of them. With this robo-based follow-up, this can go into a Disruptor drop or Fast Colossus. Can go into an Immortal base to all in. When we get us around, Ling Speed kicks in, and Wayne shuts down every single adept. And how many drones have we lost? 0. 0 economic damage being done here. Wayne, he shuts down the opener of NightMare. He gains map control, is going across the map, and NightMare is indeed going for what looks to be a Disruptor drop. The Robotics Bay is on the way. But it's oh so late. Lings, they're flooding across the map. We can even catch more of these adepts. There's still 2 out here, but yeah, there's no escape. We do collapse on this. The first one goes down. The second one as well. That is the second one as well. That is 6 adepts falling. And these have just been not efficient trades whatsoever for NightMare. Behind this, Wayne throwing down his Roach Warren, cutting workers here at 37. Still producing more Lings. And again, this should be Disruptors. If NightMare was having fun, he could go into Colossi, which is a little bit more niche, a little bit more unheard of. But there it is. Disruptors are on the way. Now, this is very high risk, high reward. So Disruptors, they can potentially do game-ending damage. They could eviscerate a mineral line. That is true. But if Wayne is able to react in time, he can, of course, split. He can avoid damage. He can avoid those Novas and commit to a counterattack. And it's going to be so difficult for NightMare to expand. Taking a 3rd base is going to be an uphill battle for the Protoss. Especially after losing so many Adepts. Like, this has just not been a good start for NightMare whatsoever. On top of that, this is going to be a delayed Disruptor drop as well because of the 2-gate opener. Overlord gets in, we get eyes on the Robo. Had we gotten eyes on the Bay? We have not. But for the most part, this should be in the back of Wayne's mind. Like, a Robo opener typically does mean Disruptors. That's why we were able to call it earlier. Yeah, Queens are in position. Nova goes off. Good. Oh my pappy. Good splits out of Wayne. Does avoid that shot. Does split quite well. And the jig is up, of course. And NightMare, he's going for a 2-base all-in. I think this is a wise move. We're going for a Gateway Explosion plus a Twilight Council. Taking a 3rd base here, it's going to be so difficult to hold on. Yeah, we're throwing down even more Gateways. That's going to be 4 on the way, alongside the 2 that's already complete. And we spoke about it, like, because of all these Lings, there's no expanding the Ravagers they have right. The Biles! We lock down the army. The Biles will connect. We shut down every single Adept, every single Zealot. Nova's going to be going off. Decent connection. But we deny the 3rd. We deny the 3rd. That's what matters. Wayne getting further ahead. And as we mentioned before, at least NightMare was already ready for the all-in. There it is. More gateways. Did I say 6 gates earlier? It's going to be a 2-base, 8 gates all-in from NightMare. It's all or nothing. And Wayne has to be careful. So Wayne is in a good position. That is true. But if Wayne takes a 4th base, and if he drones up to 73, if he drones up too much, he will be in trouble. Likewise, Disruptors keeping Wayne busy. 1 will connect. Wayne is getting a 4th, which is fine, and he's droned up to 58. We could do with some more workers. We could be droning up to around 66. That's 3 base saturation. Any more than that, and I would be concerned. But Wayne, he's actually cutting workers earlier, and he's amassing quite an army. I would say that we're cutting workers a little bit too early, but regardless, we still have a pretty threatening Roach Ravager force. And Wayne, I imagine he wants to try to be the aggressor, and he wants to try to break down and deny this 3rd. Disruptors looking for more connections. They will not take down a Queen. A little bit of a misstep there from NightMare. Oh my god, does miss out on the shot. No! The Prism goes down. Oh my god, the Prism does fall. 2 Disruptors fall as well, and that was the way to come back into this. Ay. Now there's nothing keeping Wayne back. NightMare, he's down to 1 Colossus, 1 Disruptor, second Disruptor on the way. We have our 8 gates, that's true, but we don't have really much here. We don't have much of a backbone to the army. Here we go, we have 1 Nova available. Does graze the army, gets 1 Roach. We collapse on the Stalkers and we can just shut everything else down. Good target firing out of Wayne. And it will focus on every single Robo-based unit. There's 1 Disruptor coming out, but it's not going to be enough. And Wayne, he's snowballing out of control. Again, it felt like NightMare wanted to skill check Wayne a little bit, but in the end, NightMare was skill checked, and yeah, Wayne is going to shut this down. There's no holding him to the 3rd base. GG gets called, and Wayne will take game number 1, taking a lead in this series. GG. GG, well played, and yeah, with that, a sold game out of Wayne. NightMare, again, these 2-gate openers are not really common. They're not really common, and it did feel like NightMare was overconfident choosing to go for a 2-gate opener like that, and we saw how little damage Wayne took. He just completely shut down those Adepts, Adept after Adept. We lost 6 Adepts, and we didn't deal any economic damage. On top of that, we scouted the Disruptors, we scouted the Robo, we were fully aware of what was going on, and the Disruptors, they did not pay for themselves. They didn't really get any big connections. We shaved off a Roach here or there. We got a connection on a Queen wherever we could, but no big damage was dealt. And really the icing on the cake there, really what sealed the deal for Wayne was sniping that Prism, sniping those 2 Disruptors. With that, GG, well played. Wayne does take a lead in the series. Can NightMare come back? He can, I do believe, but what opener is he going to be going for? What build of choice for NightMare? That is the question. As we're getting into game 2 on Oceanborn. And as we get into game number 2, a big shout out to Aristory in the chat. Oh my god, Papi. Thank you so much, Dzień dobry, Papi, Dzień dobry. It's great to see you in the chat. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had an amazing IEM Katowice. Thank you so much for the raid. We do appreciate it. And we are just catching up with some series that did go on during IEM Katowice. We were unable to cast this live, so we're going over some replays. And we are catching up with ESL Open Cup Americas. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our blue Zurich player representing Starlight Twinkle, leading the series 1-0. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Protoss, the red Protoss player representing himself, currently teamless, deserving to be on a team, but struggling in these semifinals. It is NightMare. Here we go. As Wayne. My eyes were going to be on NightMare, but no, Wayne, he does pop off here, setting a drone across the map already, looking, I imagine, to go for a hatch block. Wayne, he's going for a hatch first back at home on location, and he is just building up more resources for another hatchery. NightMare here on the low ground. He did spot the drone, I believe. Yeah, he is in position. The hatchery will not be thrown down, but we will delay the expansion, though, as we force another probe to be pulled. Oh my god. Yeah, Wayne taking a lot of damage here on this drone, and he will waddle back home. Again, for those wondering, if that probe wasn't patrolling on the low ground, 100% Wayne would have thrown down the hatchery. Would have thrown it down, would have blocked his opponent. Instead, NightMare was able to expand on location, and Wayne was forced to throw down his gas and his spawning pool. So a standard opener here out of Wayne and a standard opener out of NightMare. I would give NightMare the edge just because Wayne has lost mining time. The drone has to waddle back home, and yeah, as a result, a lot of lost mining for Wayne because of that kind of cheeky opener he was trying to go for. And this time, gate expand. Gate expand into the cyber core. We're not going for a 2-gate opener this time. So a standard opener from NightMare. Interesting position with this pylon, by the way. It's not further out for a Stargate, so I'm curious if we mix it up and go for a Twilight Council. What do you have for us? There it is. Stargate opener here from NightMare. Does throw it down on the left-hand side of the pylon. Will be that much closer to his opponent and should be an Oracle-based opener. NightMare playing standard. We're not spicing it up this time. We have been tempered. We have been humbled in a way after game 1. And NightMare is now taking this seriously. He's like, oh my, you're a pro gamer. You're Boppy. Oh my god. You can actually play some ZvP. As we do see NightMare just trying to get a read here on the worker counts. Shading towards that natural. Wayne actually cutting workers quite early on here. Wayne, we've cut workers at 29. We've pulled out of gas. We are massing lings. And nothing but lings. We're going for a massive ling flood across the map. And NightMare opens up with a Void Ray. So a Void Ray can be good defensively. That is true. But not amazing here against a massive amount of lings that we are just banking up here in the main base. Okay, we are now droning. So we do see Wayne. He is droning up. He did make lings, but only enough to shut down these adepts. And he will shut them down. There we go. Ling speed kicks in. Nice round here on the first adept. And the second will fall as well. A good cleanup, and now Wayne is going for a big counterattack. Meanwhile, back at home, the Void Ray has arrived, and we are denying vision from Wayne. This Overlord should be shut down. Now, with a Void Ray opener, the power of this build for NightMare is that he can hide the follow-up tech. It could be a Twilight Council, could be a second Stargate. And there it is. Twilight Council is on the way. This screams Glaive Adepts. Glaive Adepts here from NightMare. Very committed, very aggressive. And Wayne is going to be on the Zerg player to prepare. Now, typically, as a Zerg player, when your opponent opens up Void Ray, you need a safety Roach Warren. Because you're in the dark, as a second Overlord goes down. But again, Wayne has no idea what's going on, so it would be greedy, it would be risky if he does skip the Roach Warren. There it is. 4-minute 35 mark. Roach Warren is thrown down. Very good timing here for Wayne. Very safe timing here for that Roach Warren. And he will have roaches in time to defend against those adepts. Meanwhile, we do have our 2 gateways on the way. Twilight Council's done. Oh, this is not Glaive Adepts, by the way. Okay. We are going up to 4 gateways. We are going for a delayed expansion. But this is going to be Blink Stalkers. I'm curious. I'm curious how aggressive we want to be. Okay, so there's a couple of things going on. 1, no Forge. No Forge, no +1. We don't have a lot of longevity. Yep, there it is. We have the Gateway Explosion. We have a 5th and 6th Gateway on the way. This is going to be committed. This is going to hit hard. Now, thankfully, again, we have a safety Roach Warren. We're going to have access to an army, thankfully, here for Wayne. But is he going to be ready for what comes next? For the mass amount of Stalkers that we're going to have? Oh boy. Sentries are building up as well. So we will have force fields available. Ravager is going to be required here to defend. A very interesting build here from NightMare. Fun fact, the only other player that I've seen do this is Hero. Hero has gone for a fake 3rd and basically, I can't remember if it was 6 or 8 gate Blink Stalker all in. Off of a Void Ray opener. I don't think I've seen Classic do this, but I have seen Hero. Oh boy. Here we go. The gateways are finishing up, going for extra warp ins. 4th base is on the way. Wayne, he's drone up to 3 base saturation. Adepts do shade in towards the natural. We do get a drone. We get 1, we get 2. 3 drones do go down. Not too bad. We do get eyes on the roaches, of course. And here comes a Warp Prism. With the arrival of this Warp Prism, NightMare, he's going to be pushing. He's going to be pushing here and now. And it's going to be on Wayne to survive. On Wayne to defend. Even the Void Ray coming in, getting some damage done. Doesn't kill any drones, but does chip away at them. Here we go. NightMare is pushing. Ravagers are finishing up in time for this attack. And this Overseer Scout from Wayne will get eyes on at least the army. Yeah, the Overseer will fall. And NightMare is pushing. But again, Wayne, he did cut workers earlier. He actually has an army. He has some Roach Ravager ready for this. A couple of Roaches will be going down. Decent force fields. We do blink forward. Force fields thrown down once again, but we have the Ravagers for them. We have the Biles. Yeah, we're breaking on through the sentries, through the Stalkers as well. And NightMare is being forced back. Again, ideally, this push would have killed the 4th. Would have denied the 4th base. That's the goal, that's the hope here for this timing. But Wayne, he's been able to keep up. He does force back the army. He holds onto his hatchery. NightMare behind this going into disruptors. We're going into a disruptor transition. He has saturated his 3rd. He's taking his gases. He's working on the next step. Now, the problem here... Ooh, as the Void Ray goes down. The problem for NightMare is that he's falling behind in the upgrades. Remember, this is a very late Forge, because we never intended to throw down a Forge. We never intended for a longer game. This is premature from Wayne. Bleeding out a couple of Roaches. +2 is on the way. But Wayne, he wants to hit now, and yeah, he's going to be bleeding out quite a lot as a result. Wayne is being forced back, and he's taking up in towards Hydras. I think this is a wise choice. Like, I think this is going to be a really strong timing here with +2. Just hit a +2 timing with your Hydras, with your Roach Ravager, and Wayne, he could break NightMare. And again, NightMare, he's just quite behind when it comes to his upgrades, behind when it comes to his 4th base timing. Again, these Stalkers ideally needed to do more damage, and they didn't. As that was a committed push from NightMare. These Disruptors are basically here to help survive and defend against a Roach push. We can, of course, go for some Disruptor drop play, which could actually gain a lot of value. NightMare does move out, taking his 4th. And Wayne has been happily saturating his 4th base. Joining up to 76. Lurker Den on the way. Hive as well. Okay, oh my god. I assumed that we would just be hitting a +2 timing with Roaches and Hydras, but no, we're going even further. Hive, Lurker Den. The Lunkers are on the horizon. Wayne just taking his lead and extending it. I'm a little bit surprised because Wayne is typically more of an aggressive player, and if he sees an opportunity, he goes for it, but again, maybe he feels a little bit nervous. He doesn't want to throw away the tech lead that he has. As the Hive is about to finish. Now, he does get eyes on the Prism. Wayne was being cheeky. He wanted to try and snipe it if possible, but there are Stalkers. Wayne being forced back. Ooh, Wayne is maxed out, actually. Not ideal. So, the Lurker Den is done, and now we can work towards Lurker upgrades. But Wayne is at 200 supply. He needs to re-up supply for those Lurkers. As NightMare is pushing in. Ooh, good connection. Oh my god. Very good connection out of NightMare. Behind this, reinforcements are on the way. Lings, they do get called out. And NightMare, he has potential with this army. He has potential with those disruptors. How many do we have? 5. 5 disruptors here for the Protoss. We are pushing in. NightMare bleeding out a couple of Stalkers. Again, this choke point is brutal to push through. And the Novas, they will take down 2 of those Lurkers. Very good connection. But the Lurkers have arrived. And we're going into Sky Toss. Ay, ay, ay. NightMare, upon seeing these Lurkers, he doesn't have confidence. He doesn't believe he can break through. And again, pushing into Lurkers is so difficult. He does snipe 2 of them. 2 of them do go down. But those are big spine shots from Wayne. As he takes down another Lurker. And another. Oh my god. NightMare. Getting some good trades here. Big connection on the Lurkers, but he's being pounced upon, and these Stalkers are so vulnerable. And half the Stalker count is being reset. The Disruptors are exposed. Where's the Prism? The Prism a little bit too far back. We cannot control. We cannot juggle those Disruptors. We cannot save them. And Wayne, he takes a massive fight. Towards the end, we do save 2 of those Disruptors, thankfully. That was a big loss for NightMare. And even though he's working towards Sky Toss, he's nowhere near. Nowhere near that Sky Toss, the Carriers, the Tempest. And Wayne, he's remaxing. He's already remaxing. Oh, Nova's gonna be going off. Oh! Decent split towards the end, but 1 Lurker does go down. Do get a 2nd Lurker as well. But the Lings, they are pushing through. Mothership is on the way. Working towards charge. Additional Disruptors. Stalkers are getting caught out. Yeah, and charge is just not done. Looks like he's going to be able to catch a couple of free Lurkers, though. They will go down. At the same time, Wayne pushing it towards the north. Taking a couple of Novas to the face, but a couple of Novas is not going to be good enough. As Wayne, he pushes on through, gets on top of the base, gets on top of the army. And does cut NightMare in half. Yeah, just a really awkward position for our Korean Protoss player. And Wayne, he's broken the 3rd base. More Nova's going to be going off, and we've had some good connections, but again, we need more than just good Disruptor shots. We only have +1. The Stalkers, they just tickle this army. Oh my god, and we deny the warp in. At the same time, it looks like we may not have completely broken the 3rd base with this Mothership, but we've gotten on top of the 4th. The 4th base is under fire. Oh my god, the spine shots from the Lurkers are just doing far too much here against those Stalkers. The Cloak will keep this base alive, but we have broken the 3rd. And GG is going to be called. Wayne taking the series here 2-0, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to Wayne as he does take down NightMare 2-0. A very surprising result on paper, but if we had to look at the games, it does make sense here. It did feel like NightMare is maybe not really too familiar with Wayne, or maybe he believes himself a tier above, and the builds here from NightMare, they did feel, again, just a little bit like he didn't expect much from his opponent, especially game 1. Game 1 going for the 2-gate opener into the delayed Disruptor drop as well. It was just a really rough start for NightMare. He fell behind immediately because he did not deal enough damage because Wayne just shut him down completely. So again, especially in game 1, it felt like NightMare was trying to skill check Wayne, and Wayne more than passed. Like he more than had the skill for it, Bobby. Here in game 2 was more of a back and forth. But again, an unorthodox build out of NightMare. I mentioned it. Going for the Void Ray into 6-gate Blink Stalkers. So committed. And again, it's a build that we do not see very often. The only other player that I've seen do that is Hero. And again, Hero, he has the blink control and the crispness when it comes to his control and his micro to actually execute that and be so clean with the execution and kill his opponent with it. NightMare, unfortunately, by the time he got across the map, Wayne already had an army. And I feel like this is a bit of a mismatch for the build because Wayne isn't really known for being greedy. He's not like a laser, for example. A laser, he will drone up hard. And it can kill him sometimes, but like a laser, he will really just like walk that line of being too greedy to the point where it kills you, and he'll get away with it. Wayne, he's far more aggressive here in the early to mid game, and he's more than willing to cut workers and delay droning in favor of having a secure army. And as a result, by the time NightMare moved out with his Blink Stalkers, Wayne had more than enough to hold on, and he was able to get ahead as a result. So far ahead there. GG. GG, well played. Again, NightMare now, I'm sure familiar with Wayne, and I'm sure the next time they face off, NightMare will have different builds available, and will have a different approach against Wayne. And a big shout out to Wayne as well. A big win for him to bring NightMare down, and again, to humble him in a way. Congratulations. And now we have our finals. We have our grand finals here between MaxPax and Wayne. MaxPax took down Nice in the semifinals. Wayne just took down NightMare. And now we have a best of 5. A best of 5 to end the night. Now, before I dive into this best of 5, we're going to have a short break. Going to have a short break here. Just a moment to hydrate our Hydras, stretch our Roaches, massage our Marines, and just prepare ourselves for the best of 5 to come. Europa versus Europa. Again, MaxPax and Wayne, neither one of them could be a part of IM Katowice, so they take the opportunity to compete in our online weeklies, and they're here. They're here to take it all. We'll see if they can. There's going to be a bit of a rematch as well. Fun fact, last night in ESL Open Cup Europe, they also faced off. They also did face off against each other on the same half of the bracket. So it is going to be a bit of a rematch here. And yeah, we're going to be going on that short break. Hope you've been enjoying the broadcast. Hope you've been enjoying the series. And we'll be back with the grand finals. See you soon.